we're live because hey, what's up, everybody? Christopher Leon Johnson here, and we're live outside Alan Roskoff's house. Alan Roskoff runs the Jim Owls Democratic Club of New York City, and the Democratic Club is the most powerful LGBT club. Hey, what's up? The most powerful LGBT club in the city. Hey, what's up, Louis? What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Doing well. Can't complain. So today they're having a protest outside of Alan Roskoff's house. So we're here. Hey, what's up?
I wrote you something on your birthday on Facebook.
Yeah, thank you.
You saw me, right?
Yeah, I saw it. Hey, I saw it. Thank you.
You're welcome. He was eating good on his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So we're outside Alan Roskoff's house on 450 West 17th Street live, just in case. Hey, what's up?
Hello.
People like to lie and stuff like that. Fight for nature. Happy Juneteenth. And
We're here because Alan Roskoff supports the Rat Pack demolition of NYCHA. And we're questioning why he would do that, because Rat Pack, we've always said, is racist. So why does he support this? And he lives right across the street.
yeah.
It turns out that this building he lives in is a luxury condo, 450 West 17th Street. 457 West 17th Street is a building built by Related.
Mm-hmm.
Is he getting kickbacks, or does he have an inducement to support the Rat Pack demolition of NYCHA? And one of the things that we think is wrong is that there's too much gentrification happening here in Chelsea. There's too much gentrification. It is a problem for NYCHA. It's a problem for NYCHA, but it's a problem for everybody living in Chelsea. Why does he support more luxury development? What Stephen Ross is trying to do, the MAGA developer who owns Hudson Yards, he wants to annex NYCHA into Hudson Yards. And because this building is here, they want to put Hudson Yards all the way from 33rd Street or 36th Street all the way down here to 17th Street. It's wrong. It's wrong for people who live in NYCHA. The demolition over here is going to displace a lot of people. They've already applied or intend to apply to demolish two buildings, one on 19th Street and the senior building on West 27 Drive. And the senior building has caused a lot of trauma because the seniors there have been told by NYCHA that NYCHA is offering them free counseling with social workers so that they don't get traumatized by the fact that they're going to be evicted. They're going to be evicted, and how does Alan Roskoff support this? He claims he's a progressive Democrat. He's a Democrat activist for the Democratic Party. How can he support this that's going to displace people of color? Since we've said that Rat Pack is racist, we question Alan Roskoff's commitment to minorities. And we're here to call him out.
So what you feel about everybody that's involved with this stuff? Like, just go right here. I want to go right here. I don't like this. I want to.
It's Alan Roskoff. You want to tear down my buildings?
We are not for sale.
You want to tear down my buildings? You side with the developers. You wrote an article stating that. You're a racist bigot.
So
Alan Roskoff, you're a racist
So what do you feel about like him? It's kind of a conflict of interest where he say he's fighting for it. You say he's fighting for you guys, but he's living here.
Yes.
Do you think he's getting some deal to where like he pay no rent, or he's paying pennies on the dollar?
I don't know. Let's look over here. I want to point something out. This is his address. This is Alan Roskoff's address, 450 West 17th. And the first thing it says below it is Related. Look, it says Related. The same company that owns Hudson Yards, that developed Hudson Yards. We question his commitment.
You want to tear down my building, Alan Roskoff, you racist.
So the thing is that he lives right next to a NYCHA development. Is that Fulton Chelsea or is this Chelsea House? Fulton Houses. He's right next to Fulton Houses.
Have you picture Alan Roskoff, Louis?
No, I don't. But
Is he a short little man?
yes, he's a short little man. Old head.
Yes.
With a little dog?
Yes.
Yes.
Lives in 27.
Yeah, don't
Alan
like him.
Roskoff.
He's racist and he was very
wants to
Very
tear
With
dangerous.
you.
He discriminates.
Alan Roskoff lives on 27.
and he wants to tear down our buildings.
A-L-L-E-N-R-O-S-S.
You can Google him.
He wants to tear down our buildings up there.
He usually goes to
I mean, I
parties.
can't do nothing about it, but I'm happy that y'all are doing it.
Yes, well, because you know what he wants to do? He wants to demolish NYCHA. And all of these people are going to get displaced. Every single one.
Alan Roskoff, you're
And he
racist
says he wants
bastard.
to support people going from Chelsea.
Alan Roskoff, you racist bastard, you.
Shame on
Y'all
you!
made my
Alan
day.
Roskoff is a
It is
racist.
him?
Yeah, because he was mean to me and I asked him, and he was very mean to me. Like, to the point where I was crying.
Like what?
And I asked him, the thing
That's-
was,
that's it.
he would apologize to me for like 3 years after I made a big, wait, are you recording me?
Yeah.
Don't do that. So, and I wouldn't mind, you gotta ask anybody, can you record them?
Yes,
I
I'm
don't
sorry,
have
we're
no
just at a
makeup
protest.
on,
We're not
they
trying to-
erase it. I
yes.
don't have no makeup on,
Yes,
like the
yes,
little
I
guys.
understand.
Thank you. And they wouldn't tell me what his name was. And somebody else, my neighbor, told me that he was an important person, but I didn't know what his
Yeah,
name
he's
was.
siding
He
with the
works for Steve
politicians.
Ross, the executive.
And he's
Well, let me write this down.
and
because
he's
I
like
was
this.
pissed.
He's like this with Kathy Hope, with the governor. Alan
He
Roskoff.
worked with Stephen Ross. He owns the pier on Hudson Yard.
Alan Roskoff is a racist
He
No.
works
bastard.
with the Persians.
Works
with the
racist
guy.
bastard.
No, but he don't
wants
have
to
to-
tear down
No,
our
he's,
buildings.
but his friend is the billionaire,
One of the
Steve
big-
Ross.
he
Oh, yeah.
supports
It's,
it
He's like
big
this.
time.
let me write, hold on.
He's
He
like
wants to
this
tear
with
down-
Steve
he wants
Ross.
to tear
He's
down
like this with
Citizen
Kathy Hope,
building
the
on
governor.
23rd and Chelsea.
He's like this with everybody important.
And he sides
Andrew
with- and
Cuomo,
he sides
the
with the
former governor,
politicians.
like this.
I know one day God will send me his name.
We're here.
Yeah,
God
baby.
is good.
Because I'm going to show you the picture.
God is
Hold on.
good. He's a
Culture.
racist.
Yes.
He's a
Hold
He's
on.
a
racist.
racist bigot. He's
I'ma
a
get it,
racist
too.
bigot. He came
So
out
why is he
right now
racist?
and told
Explain-
him that's
explain
I'm
to
about
people.
to show you.
Please.
Right now, what
Look,
he did to me. For
he,
no
he's
reason.
he's had other interactions with people. You know, not just us, and it's not just we're not the only ones. You know, he's first
He
of all,
he has a racial problem.
yes.
And not just him, a lot of these liberals down here.
Wow.
What happened to
I don't
It's the
know.
same. That's the liberal word.
Here.
You got him? You got him? You got him? Okay, good. He wants to destroy NYCHA. He wants to get rid of all of us.
Racist.
So, how, like, so the people want to know, like, how do you want to destroy NYCHA? He's standing with you guys. He's saying, like,
Working with Stephen Ross.
so how he's working with him? Can you explain to the people?
You got it?
Yes, because he was quoted in the New York Post article. The New York Post called him up because they know he lives right across the. Where are you?
So that's going to be here. We're like right here's the NYCHA development of Fulton houses.
West 17th Street. We're right off
The
the
New York Post called him and he quoted them. Like Louis was saying.
Here we go. Hold on, let it download.
See this?
So he took a picture of me. That's him, right?
Yes, that's him.
He
That's
took a picture of me. This was at 2:41 a.m. Why is a man taking a picture of me throwing garbage out
He lives here.
at
He wants to tear down
2:41? This
That's
is right
him.
before I was gonna get on the flight.
Politicians and the developers.
Now,
He's a bigot.
this is him
Alan
yelling.
Roskoff is a bigot. He
you
sides with the
recording him.
politicians.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's how bad he was doing.
Yes, yes.
Sides with
Wait, hold
weak
on.
politicians
It
and
gotta
want to
load.
tear
Once
down
it
our
load.
building and our development.
Can you believe it?
Take a morning.
He kept saying to me, "Put a mask on. Put a mask on." You saw
Alan Roskoff is a
I never had
racist.
COVID. I didn't
I'm
have a
sick
COVID
of
shot.
these
I'm
liberal
not with
racists
that.
living in New York. They're
I'm
worse
mad
than
because
some.
I-
They're worse
And
than
on top
some
of it,
racists. They're bad. And
down
Alan
better.
Roskoff is one of
Tell you
them.
something.
I'm sick of them. They talk out of two sides of their mouth. And he's supposed to be Jewish. And they had a relationship with the black community. He's supposed to be Jewish. We're supposed to have a relationship since the civil rights movement. How dare he? Alan Roskoff, how dare you? We're supposed to have a relationship with the Jewish community going all the way back. A friendly relationship, coming together as one. But to tear down our developments and be in support of the developer and the elected officials. And then write articles about it in the newspapers. Come on.
Hey, Barney.
Taking on.
Hey, I was calling you to see like where's everybody at.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He's a racist
Yeah.
lives, he want to tear down my building. He want to tear down Chelsea and Fulton and want to displace seniors. Alan Roskoff is a racist bigot. We're supposed to have a relationship with the Jewish community.
Why is Alan Roskoff supporting a MAGA billionaire, Stephen Ross? What's going on? Alan Roskoff likes to pretend that he's against Trump, that he's against MAGA.
Only when it comes to his benefit.
But only when it comes to him depositing checks into the Jim Owl's Liberal Democratic Club. That's the only reason why Alan Roskoff complains about Trump or MAGA, is to make money off of it. He's trying to hustle on MAGA. He's a hustler, that's all he is. Also, he's racist. He supports the demolition of NYCHA here at Fulton Houses. Over 1,000 apartments here and over 900 apartments at Chelsea Elliott are going to be demolished. We're here on Juneteenth to complain and protest Alan Roskoff outside of his luxury condominium at 450 West 17th Street in Chelsea. Right?
And he's supposed to be a liberal?
And he's supposed to be a liberal here.
The only reason why I asked.
Alan Roskoff is a phony. We had a good the blacks and the Hispanics and the Jews had a cohesive relationship, but he's destroyed that relationship. Alan Roskoff is a racist bigot. He is a racist bigot. We have liberals in New York that are hypocrites. They talk out of two sides of their mouth, and Alan Roskoff is one of them. He wants to displace poor people and working class people and seniors and make them homeless. He has a luxury apartment that he lives in. Everybody can't afford a luxury apartment in this city. Alan Roskoff lives in this apartment building, which is luxury. And he wants to displace.
He lives here. Alan Roskoff. He's a Democrat. He supports the demolition of NYCHA. We're calling him racist. Today's Juneteenth. He wants to demolish all the public housing here.
On this street?
Yes.
On this street and also on 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th.
Where the seniors live.
What is he?
Loyal liberal Democrat.
Well, he's a politician?
He supports a politician. He bundles money for them. He's a donor.
He's a donor.
What is the Jewish?
He's a liberal Jewish politician who supports.
He shouldn't be supporting racism.
Racism.
We're calling him out. Today's
You know-
Juneteenth.
What's the Jewish thing of
Huh?
Because
Let
we're
me say
supposed to
this.
be working
Let me
together.
say this.
People are
I
supposed
said
to
if
be
you
a cohesive group.
listen to what I said,
We're supposed to
the
be a
Jewish community
society.
and the African American community and Latino community have always worked together, going all the way back to the civil rights movement. Am I right? And even they worked the Jewish professors. No, don't hide. The Jewish professors worked in historically black colleges. Did you know that? Going all the way back. Going all the way back, sir. And Alan Roskoff is against that. We had a cohesive relationship.
Let's
go a little down. It is raining as cats out
Come
here.
over here.
Under here. I thought you were gonna be language.
I was gonna drop stuff off. I just came here. I'm good.
Yeah,
Unbelievable that it's raining.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's not back to be way worse.
Oh my God.
On Juneteenth.
I know.
I mean, the slaves are over there jumping up and down.
I
The other side.
Well,
Right.
the point is here that we're protesting against Alan Roskoff, and obviously all of his neighbors don't know about this, but that one lady did. That one lady knew how evil Alan Roskoff could be, and she also called him a racist. I think it's fair to call him a bigot. He claims that he's for equality for some people, but not for everybody. That makes him a bigot. And it's a shame, but as you know, Christopher, I've been very critical of the Democrats, especially on Rad and Pac. And I think Alan Roskoff is Exhibit A. He's the poster boy. He's a poster child for the bigotry that Rad and Pac is, and the fact that he supports it is very problematic. If more of his supporters, the people who donated and supported the Jim Owl's Liberal Democratic Club, knew about Alan Roskoff's real record on racism, I believe he wouldn't have the support that he has now.
So, what do you feel about like the so-called groups and like other advocates that are so-called fighting for NYCHA, like Marquise Jenkins, who I think we all know that he's part of RPPH, which works with these elected officials that sold out the city for the city, except for one, Marte, and he voted against City Yes, but everybody else and Banks didn't. But we can talk about Banks there, but mainly like Rivera, she sold out for the City Yes.
Yes, I know.
Sorry, the door.
Watch your back.
We have a problem. We have a problem with the Democrats in this town, particularly with Marquise Jenkins knows our story. We had a Zoom with him and other people back in December or January when we were trying to ask for help to refile our lawsuit. Remember, we had a Zoom at Marnie's apartment, and Marquise Jenkins was there, and we got no support from anybody there to help us refile the lawsuit. We had to refile it ourselves. We have no lawyer. We went to a lot of people, including Marquise, for help, and they turned us down.
And what about the district leaders here, like Layla Briscoe? Like, how about her?
I'm very critical of Layla because, as you know, she has opposed the demolition, but she won't say anything about the Radden Pack privatization. That's problematic. The lawsuit we filed says that the Radden Pack privatization has to go through Euler, and she should know better. She's a district leader, but we believe that she falls under the pressure of the Democrats, and the Democratic machine is represented in this district by Alan Roskoff. He's part of the Democratic machine.
And what do you feel about like the article that came out about her and of him, the $1 million homes?
You know, I think it's pathetic that that Layla should have made clear that she's not the front face of this movement. The front face of this movement are the people who live in NYCHA, like Alexa right here. It's Alexa who's fighting to stop the demolition, and Jackie Lara, who's running for city council. You know, there are other people who are fighting this fight, but Layla wanted to make herself like she's the face of this, and she's not. I'm not the face of this. It's the tenants. It's the tenants, like Vera too.
Yeah, so I know you're running for city council.
I was. They bumped me off the ballot.
Why?
Guess who bumped me off the ballot?
Who?
Alan Roskoff.
Oh, shit.
Shame on you,
But
Alan.
we're here not because of that, but because of that New York Post article. That New York Post article came out before I even knew I was getting bumped off the ballot. We're here because of what he said, that he supports the militia.
So speaking of that, like we think about her, like his opponent. I don't think she has a chance of winning. Like she's running a one issue based campaign.
Who?
Jacqueline. She's running a one issue based campaign, and she's working with Marquise, and they got her on the ballot. They're the ones that got her on the ballot. I think they're just trying to do like a protest candidate.
Well, you know, we just saw Jackie 5 minutes ago, right before we got here. We asked her to come. She said she couldn't because she had a family emergency. I don't know anything about what Jackie's going through with me. This is a
Jackie working with them.
Yeah, she is.
Yes. So it's not to save night, it's to sell night.
Yeah.
And she's selling night.
So how you feel about Jacqueline? What you think about her? Like, what's your like?
Look, she betraying her own people. She knows we're not rich. She lives there. I live there. So many people live there. And she works against all this. Shame on her.
Yeah. So
they're using her. She should be really, really sick in the head.
yeah, because I see that majority. I say all of it. Their rallies are performative.
Yeah.
Through performative rallies, and nothing gets done. Nothing gets done at all. Performative rallies. Nothing gets done at all. And it's just like her campaign is basically a protest campaign. It's not a right protest campaign because there's a lot of issues in this district.
She didn't make it herself. They selected her already way before, and they did everything for her, and they still doing it. She did not fight. She did not sweat, and that's why she also. The time will tell again how people going, how she's gonna face the people who really have to go out of the building. I mean, how? But I think she has no remorse and no heart.
Yeah.
All these people selling for money, that their life's gonna be better. I don't think so.
So you think like the people that are fighting to so-called say NYCHA, not you guys, general, are just as bad as the people that are tenant presidents, like that are single-handedly destroying
Yeah, the
NYCHA.
same president, the same thing. They do the same thing. It's only asking spendings from 2019. And then she goes. She didn't even write that. Somebody else did it for her. She fighting for NYCHA 2019. What a lie! Another lie.
Yeah.
Tell them about the bridge. fridge thing that they're going door by door.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is happening right now. The reason why we went to a lot of people in January and December and January for help to file our lawsuit is because we knew that NYCHA's already doing shady shit right now. They've already filed an application to demolish the building on 19th Street. The senior building on West 27 Drive is next. There are people who are right now who are scared. Like I told you, the seniors are going to talk to social workers because they're traumatized. And we don't see these other groups trying to help those people. We are trying, but we have, yes, thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
not to block the door.
Yeah, not
Sit
to block
over
the door.
here. Yes.
I just ain't good enough.
Get away from the door. Oh,
So,
yeah.
yes, we keep moving because of the rain. and
Yeah, I think that's the
because
door
we're
right
under the
there,
canopy.
Yeah, I can.
That's the door right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's the door.
so I'll just go right here.
So anyway, so the issue is
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff happening, and we don't see nobody else trying to help the people who are in need. I know, just
Yeah, let me go a little.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know where
so-
you're going.
No, let me just go right.
so there are people who need help, and
Yeah.
there's nobody helping them, and we have no money, we have no lawyer, we have nothing, and there are groups in this town who do have money. There are people like Layla who have resources. What is Layla doing for the seniors? What is Jackie doing for the seniors? She has a campaign. I don't want to be extra critical of Jackie, but there are people here like Alan Roskoff. Those seniors are going to be kicked out. Why does Alan Roskoff support this? This doesn't make sense.
So, like I said, she's running a one-issue-based campaign, and that's not good.
I agree.
That's-
She
But,
has to
you
do
know-
what they tell
Tell her to do.
She has to speak, she has to.
And she's running a
She cannot think for herself.
she's running a one-issue-based, and that's not good because Botcher is really beatable. He's a beatable candidate.
Yes, he is.
He's
That's
a
why
beautiful-
that's why they knocked me off the ballot.
Yeah.
There were two challenges filed against me. It wasn't just Alan. There was another person up in Hell's Kitchen who is a general contractor. Because he's connected to the construction industry, it makes me believe that they're all coordinated these challenges to help Stephen Ross. And so, the system, if you are a real threat, they will knock you out.
So yeah, I know. It's just like, so what do you feel about like our Congress member? He's down with it. Our state senators are down with it.
That's why we're here on Juneteenth.
Yes.
A year ago, we protested Nadler on Juneteenth. And that was a very eye-opening experience because we had water thrown at us. People were saying racial slurs at George back there. It was an eye-opening experience. And that's why George says, and it's very legitimate, George says that in New York, we have these liberals who hide their racism behind their liberalism. All of this is very, very angry. It enrages me. When the reason I ran for city council was an insurance policy to help us save NYCHA. It didn't pan out. I don't take it personally, but it's a symptom of how sick and corrupt this system is. And the Democrats should know better. They portray themselves as the anti-racist party, as the opposite of the Republicans, but I believe there's a racism problem with the Democrats.
So we feel about like the state. I think the biggest perpetrator is the state assembly member, Tony Simone.
He's one of them. He's one of them. I'm not going to say he's the major one. He is one of the problems. I am critical of him on social media. We went to his town hall. You went to the town hall.
Yeah.
What happened over there?
It was a chaos. We were trying to speak to him, and everybody was, they weren't listening.
They weren't listening.
No.
Do you think Tony Simone listens to people?
No.
No, of course not. Why?
Because he was going for the demolition.
Yes. He's there for the demolition.
He's there to destroy us. Can I say that?
Yes, whatever. Say whatever.
I don't understand how Tony Simone used to be a friend of Luis Flores, and now he just passes by him and doesn't even say hello.
Because in politics, in activism, I've been in it for years. People run for office. They use people So when they get in, once they get in, they turn on you. They stab you in the back.
Right.
Act like you don't
I
exist.
see.
So it happens to a lot of people.
Yes, yesterday or the day before, I ran into Eric Botcher here on 9th Avenue and 21st Street. I just walked right past him. I didn't say a word to him. Because I live here in Chelsea, I'm always running into these people. I run into Brad Hoylman all the time. I see him on the street. I saw him on 8th Avenue and 26th Street one time. These people are all around here. But they don't represent the people.
Why do you think they represent the people? What's your...
Because, as you know, politics is a business. To run for office and to be viable, you have to have big money behind you. And the only people with big money are the big business industry, and that would be like Related. So that's how Related is able to buy these people. They're basically, I don't want to curse, but they're sex workers. But, they don't sell sex. What they sell is public office.
You think that, I think we spoke about the Safe Section 9 chick, Ramona. You think she's part of the problem too?
We don't know why she's not down here. She claims she wants to save Section 9. She is one of the people we went to for help to file our Article 78 lawsuit. Did we get any help from her? No. And she's a funded group.
By who? She's paying who?
I don't know who, but she's a funded group. So, I don't understand what these people do with their money. It doesn't trickle down to the people who need it.
Yeah, so we think about Dare to Struggle. They so-called fight for it too. You think they're in control too? Dare to Struggle?
I don't know. I'm not on the Lower East Side. But again, it would be great if we had some kind of, solidarity with them. But I haven't heard one word from them. I was over there when they had the arsenic scare in the Lower East Side. And I saw their flyers, they were everywhere, but I haven't seen them on the fight to save public housing from Matter Pack.
So, I know we're here right now in front of Alan Roskoff House. Are you planning on going to everybody else's houses, like little Glisco's house, or?
Well, we've been to Jerry Nadler's house. That was a year ago today on Juneteenth. We were at Jerry Nadler's luxury condominium on the Upper West Side. Today we came here. We may go elsewhere. A few years ago, we went to Corey Johnson's apartment. So this is not unlike what we've done in the past.
So you're planning on doing more, like going everybody else?
If that's what it takes, that's what we're going to do.
All right, thank you. So, hey, you have anything to say? You have something to say, or?
Yes, bingo to George and Marnie.
Yeah, me next. Yeah. Hey, Marnie, do you have anything to say about this?
Oh, well,
Sorry.
just that I think like our group is just very concerned with the fact that there's no legally enforceable right of return. So I think what's happening is that the tenants are being told that they're gonna move out of the apartments, go into another new building, they're gonna demolish those apartments, they're gonna move right back, but that typically never happens. There's a documentary called Raising Liberty Square, about Liberty Square in Miami. It was one of the oldest developments in the country since 1937.
And my cousin lived there.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. It's called Poking These Houses.
Yeah, and they completely destroyed that, built luxury, condos, and only 5 tenants returned. So that's what's fascinating about that. So I think really what our group is trying to do is just bring awareness to the fact that there is no legally enforceable right of return, which means that people will be displaced. And secondly, that this sort of massive redevelopment needs to go through the city's ULURP process. And again, I always feel like we're begging for crumbs. We're just asking the city and NYCHA to follow the law. That's really it.
Yeah.
And Alexa here, I mean, it just seems like 60 to 65, 70% of the people that live in NYCHA are seniors. Many of them are disabled with mobility issues and diabetes, low income, and they really have no place to go except the homeless shelter. So NYCHA is the last bastion of deeply, deeply affordable housing. So we're here to, we're really just trying to make everybody aware, and we're just trying to be moral people that care
We're the only
about
solution
other
we
human
have
beings.
that could save the low
But
income.
look at the NYCHA development that was in Brooklyn. They tore it down. All of the elected officials were part of it, and they told the people.
Which one?
In Brownsville. What was the name of that one? It's in Brownsville. I just can't remember.
There was also an IT development called Prospect Plaza.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, where they moved everybody out,
That's
and they said that they were going to build new beautiful apartments and move everybody
didn't.
back in, and they didn't.
They built houses.
Yeah, and again, there's no legally enforceable right of return, and that's what
Congressman May, that was under, back then, Congressman May Jones,
right.
Frank Boylan, who was the assemblyman at the time, John Sampson, who was the state senator at the time, and the city council member is a seat that Darlene Neely now occupies. They was all in on it, and they displaced all those people. And it's and I took a tour of that development because I worked for NYCHA at that time, and nothing was wrong with their development. They needed a little bit of repairs here and there, but nothing major.
Well, that's also, I think, what's going on too, is like the narrative is that, oh, these are so dilapidated. There's buildings in Fulton houses. Jackie's building, like right across the street from Chelsea Market, is actually very, very sound.
Yes.
They might need a new boiler and a new paint job, but structurally, it's a sound building. I mean, these buildings were built to be very sound.
If you look at Penn South is just as old as my development.
Right,
But
right.
nobody is asking them to tear them down.
Yes.
Because the complexity, they're predominantly white.
And they vote.
And they vote.
They vote, they're voters, they're older, and they're very politically active.
Which means Stuytown?
No,
Penn South.
Penn South.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Those activists, those people are out there. So.
I
Yeah.
will say this. The Democrats have never been friends really to the African American community, or the Latino community, or the Asian community. They use them for their votes.
Right. And also, George, you can tell this story about your professor at Medgar Evers, and he wrote a book called Black Brooklyn.
Yes,
And
John Plateau.
Yeah.
Dr. John Lewis Plateau.
George, tell them about that, because that's very telling.
The Honorable John Lewis Plateau, who comes from your borough, and who was a doctor at Medgar Evers, but he's also was the first chief of staff to Mayor Dinkins. He wrote a book about Black Brooklyn, and it talks about the disparities in communities, and it talks about public housing, and believe it or not, public housing tenants vote higher than people who live in, say, regular houses, but
right.
they vote higher.
Oh, interesting.
They vote higher.
Interesting, yeah.
They have a lower income, but they're very civically engaged. The
Right.
problem with the elected officials, they have taken the people for granted, and this is Democrats who are supposed to protect us. They have not protected us. They're taking away our basic rights of low-income housing and affordable housing. They go to Washington, they say one thing, but back in their district they do something else.
Yeah.
And and Obama was the problem also. Barack Obama is the problem also. And remember, the loyalist base to the Democratic Party is the African American women and the African American male are the most loyal base to the Democratic Party. And a lot of the tenants that live in Fulton and Chelsea houses happen to be of African descent.
Right.
So you're saying to me, you're asking me for my vote, but you're pulling the rug from under me and making me poor.
The thing is also is like this group, we're very, very schooled and educated on exactly what's going on. And the regular person kind of doesn't have this kind of knowledge. So when we talk to people, they're all like they're like, oh God, I'm with you guys. This is horrible that seniors are going to be displaced. And we're just here to shed some light on
Like
that.
if you look at this high rise here,
This one. Right here?
now, do you really think they would attack the people that live in that building, saying we're going to tear down their building?
No.
They're attacking. They're attacking us, Mr. Johnson, because of our race. It's a big part of it, and the city has changed demographically. It's becoming more black and Latino. And down here, in the last election, Mr. Johnson, you had an African American, you had an Asian American, Barney, and you had a Latino American, first time in history, running for city council here. You also had a Latino running for the state assembly here. That is happening because the demographics are changing and they're scared of the political change.
Who, Chris LeBron?
Chris LeBron is Latino,
Yeah.
Puerto Rican.
Hold this.
So-
I'm gonna get a picture.
What they have done, they are afraid of that change.
Oh, George, come in the picture.
Here you go.
Yep. wait. Let me guess.
You gotta stand right here.
Wait, I got it.
Just get in the,
I got it. Wait, come in.
just get in the picture. You gotta get in here.
All right.
Don't-
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Got it.
So if you know, and you know, that's happening also, is that the demographics of this community is changing. It's changing politically. So people don't want to see that change. And NYCHA, if the residents in NYCHA ever voted in large numbers, they could make the difference in electing their city council member, their state assembly member, and the city council member, the state assembly member, the state senator will be, and the congressman will be accountable to those residents, and that's what they want.
So, what do you think about the city of? Do you think about the city of yes? Like, because that basically allows these guys to do what they want with no ULURP process and no community input. That means community input means community board input. So, what do you think about that? And the councilman voted for
It's
it.
horrible. I mean, you know, what they're doing to NYCHA is also kind of in line with what they want to do with the city of Yes. They want the mayor to like appoint a board of his own making, and basically Yes people, that any development that happens is able to just be ushered through without no community input, no community board, no resident input, and that's not the kind of city that like this group wants to live in, and. You know, again, the gentrification and displacement, it's like really harming people, and we're here to, say no.
So we think about the councilman that so-called they care about they care about so-called care about you guys, but they voted for except for Chris Banks and Marte, but everybody's voted like Alexa Velez and who used to be the chair for the immigration, for housing committee, public housing, and Carmen Rivera. She voted yes. They voted yes for it.
Yeah, well, Carlina, I'm not surprised. I mean, that woman is like a gentrifier, so I'm not surprised about her. Alexa, I'm a little surprised because she would attend, a lot of these NYCHA meetings. I would always see her advocating for the NYCHA tenants, and now she's, it just shows that she has no spine.
And because she's now trying to fight for BMT, Brooklyn Marine Terminal, which will allow the developer, I think is now EDC, who bought out from Port Authority, to build luxury housing on industrial land.
Yeah.
And people got mad at them, but she didn't want to vote.
I mean, really, I always say this: anybody that gets into political office is suspect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I know how hard it is. Lewis knows how hard it is. And if you stay clean, it's really hard to get in because, you need a ton of money. You need like wealthy people to help you. Oh, look how horrible! Hi. So, it's really hard. But then you don't get anybody who's really real and that wants to do something for like regular people.
They don't. They only fight for
it's a
the.
shame.
Real and the Democrats.
Now, Christopher Marte doesn't actually.
Who?
Chris Marte, he actually does it pretty. I mean, he's kind of. There's very few council people, but he's one that I think that does it pretty well.
Yeah, he does it. He has a big competition. So he lives in district, for the people that's watching.
District 1, yeah.
District 1 that covers Lower Manhattan. Anything below 14th Street, that's his district.
Right.
And he's running against two people. I met one today. I think she's okay. But he was at Juneteenth. Her name is Elizabeth Lewisham. But the main person he's running against, his name is Jess Coleman, and he's a YIMBY candidate. He's the YIMBY candidate. So he's backed by all the big time developers and real estate. But he's saying,
Allie Ryan is running in District 2.
That's her.
And she's very good.
Yeah, she is.
So, but her petitions were challenged also.
Yeah, they don't want.
They don't want anybody that.
Watch out, Vera.
They don't want anybody that's.
Yeah, because Allie's running against, I think, like 5 other people, right? She's running against Sarah Batchel, who used to be the girlfriend of Bill de Blasio, and Sarah Baxter used to be the girlfriend of Bill de Blasio, make that clear. Jerry Garillo, who's the chair of Community Board 3. And then you have Harvard Anthony Weiner.
Oh my God.
Then you have Anthony Weiner, everybody knows the sex offender. And then you have Harvey Epstein, who they said the front runner. And if they say that he wins the race, it's going to be a $10 million special election. $10 million because that district, a lot of people are going to run for that seat.
And Harvey Epstein is the assembly member there, right?
Yeah, he sold out. He refused to address anybody in Nitro.
I think Melody, if she had stayed active with us, I thought Melody would have been a good candidate for running.
What happened to Melody?
Melody, she cited.
She was the TA president at Strauss houses.
And very progressive, and I think she could have won that race down there. I think Melody.
Run for city council or for district leader, where Carlina Rivera is. She's in Carlina Rivera's district, but she didn't want to.
That district is really hard to win.
I know.
You saw what's going on with Francisco Gonzalez and Allie. They get intimidated by Harvey's people in Coda.
Oh
Coda,
yeah.
but Coda
is seriously a bad.
Yeah, they're corrupt.
It's a bad group.
They take money from developers, but they act like they fight for the people. And one of the main people there is Marquise Jenkins, who is one of the biggest problems of the situation.
Yeah.
He does performative politics, and now they got this new girl. She's not new, but she's well known in the political spectrum, named Tanisha Grant, that lives in the lives in Washington Heights, and she has a nonprofit that's called Parent Supported Parents, and what she does, she give out laptops to the people of the community, and she's really compromised. Like she's really compromised, and she's there to protect the elected officials.
I thought Melody could have won. Could have actually in my heart. I thought Melody, she could have won that race, and I'll tell you why. Melody is an educated woman. I think she might be the most educated in that group. And I think Melody's about 25% African. And she's about 25% African, am I right, Louis?
Yes.
And she's about what, 60% Hispanic.
I believe so.
And I think Melody's a nice looking woman, but she's smart. And I think if Melody would have got in that race, I think Melody would have been very competitive in that race.
Oh, the dude with the little dog.
I think Melody should have got in that race.
Super.
I wish she had.
Super race.
She's a graduate from Hunter College.
Oh, he knows who he is.
And I think Melody would have been a phenomenal candidate.
Yeah. So she got ran out, or she got voted out as a lieutenant president, or what?
No, she sided with Louis. Melody sided with Carmen Quinones, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Carmen is just as bad. Like
Yes.
she kisses every fake ring
Yes.
that she can. Like she got mad at me because I called her ass out. I was like, well, wait a minute. Like you're the same person that got your girlfriend, your friend, kicked out of the club. Like she had to resign from the political club because she spoke against to the RNC. They got her to speak against de Blasio.
Can I share something with y'all about her?
Yeah.
Years ago, Charlie Rangel, and if you know Charlie Rangel is half Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Rangel. She ran an all Puerto Rican campaign against Charlie, and you know Denny Farrell was the county leader.
Yeah.
And you know Denny Farrell is Panamanian. Denny Farrell is Hispanic also. So she ran this all Latino thing against Charlie with Adam. You know what Charlie and them did to her? They cut her district leader seat. They got rid of her. Charlie Rangel and Denny Farrell.
Yeah.
She ran a racist campaign against them. So Adam was trying to challenge Charlie, but they don't know Charlie is Puerto Rican and black.
Yeah.
And you know, Charlie Rangel speaks fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
His name is Charlie Rangel. And Charlie never forgave her for that. And they cut her legs from under her.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And Denny Farrell, and a lot of people don't know, the late Denny Farrell was Hispanic also. He was Panamanian and Jamaican and African American. So you can't run that game. And you know, those guys are big time titans in this city when it comes to politics. And they know where everything is buried. So they cut Carmen's legs off.
Yeah, but she's really conflicted, and like I said, she kisses every ring that she could kiss on.
I know.
And it's like with her, it's like you like politics. I think you know that nothing's for free.
Right.
And she got flew out. She was working with the Trump administration, like through what's her name, Lynn Patton.
Lynn Patton.
And in return, she had to speak at the RNC virtually. That time, the pandemic, during COVID. And it's just like she's really like, she's
Has
really
no moral value.
No moral.
I think Melody would have had moral values because she had Lewis and all of us with her.
Yeah.
And I love Melody. Personally, I love Melody. Lewis knows that. I thought Melody could have won that race.
Yeah.
She could have won that race. Melody could have won that race. She's intelligent. She's a Latino woman, Puerto Rican descent. She could have won that race down there because she could have galvanized all of the nitrogen developments to get them out to vote.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do down there.
Yeah. I know you got to leave in 5 minutes before this car. But when you think about, when you was at the town hall with the mayor, with Eric, do you think that was rigged? Like, I was there at Sunset Park. I said, that's my first time. I'll never go back there again.
That's what it says Sunset Park because Alexa and I went to one.
She went to the one in Hell's Kitchen with Alexa.
And Alexa and 3 other tenants, we gave the mayor hell. Like, we literally gave him hell. We made him very uncomfortable, right, Alexa?
Yes.
And you know what? Mayor Adams, he has the nerve to put us on his tweet, like, great community event, like basically gaslighting, you know, so I don't know. These people, but he, you know, I mean.
So what do you think about this mayoral election? I know it can't be and the controller. Who do you think is going to, like?
I don't know. Who's going to take
To be
that?
honest with you,
No.
they're all bad.
It's all bad. They're all bad.
And that's over.
Mr. Johnson,
They're all
we
bad.
need a third party.
Same
Mr.
for
Johnson.
Republicans?
We need a third
Women
party.
Republicans?
The two-party system doesn't work here.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you can pull back. So you leaving now, Marty? All right, take care, all right?
Hi, Marty.
Bye.
Okay.
We need a third party.
Yeah, we do.
And we need a third party that works for everybody.
Yeah.
Not just for the very powerful. And we need third party candidates to run for mayor, city council, state assembly, state senate. We need ordinary people. We've given the lawyers, the doctors, and so they've ruined the system. We need ordinary grassroots people. You see this young lady here?
Yeah.
We need somebody like that who's a grassroots person who can go there and won't have anybody's interest. She's just going to do the right thing. Somebody like Lewis. We need ordinary people to go there and work on behalf of the people. We've given it over to the lawyers, the doctors, whatever they say their degree is in, and they've destroyed the system because they go there looking to get rich.
Problem.
Uh-huh.
It's a problem.
It is.
It's a major problem.
It is.
They go there and they're not looking out for our interests. They're looking out for the special interests of the developers, the business people. They don't give a damn about ordinary people.
They don't.
No, they care only to vote
They
for
want
them.
to
That's what they care.
Bye.
No,
Just
they
ordinary
don't.
people right here. These are the people that need to be running, that need to be represented. We've given all these professionals a chance, like I said earlier, and they have destroyed the system.
Yes, the Democrats. The corruption in the Democrats.
Yeah. So, Marty, you ran in 2020. You ran in 2021.
Yes,
And
I did.
so what happened with
Never
that?
again.
Why? What's your explanation? You should have
Well,
ran.
it just was so hard. I mean, I think, you know, Eric Botcher has, I don't know, something like 30 to 40 unpaid volunteers. It's really, really hard, you know, to run. And that's why regular people don't do it. You know, so,
Yes, we're
If you
all
go honestly,
see where all
you
of
know,
these people here.
yeah,
you're
it's really
good.
hard.
If you're good, it's hard for you to get in.
Yeah, and you really need money behind you. You really need it. It's just really hard. And then also, like your name isn't known. Like they say, name recognition is the #1 reason why people vote for somebody is that they just recognize their name and they have no idea what their policies are. So it's just a really difficult, it's a difficult process. Yeah. So yeah, I want it to be a regular person.
Yeah, I understand.
But then it's hard because, you know, the reason why I ran is like because the issues of like saving public housing and also the Small Business Job Survival Act would have never gotten any play.
Yeah.
So when you run, at least the issues get into the media, you talk about it, your community understands it. You know, that's important too. So, but I have to say, right after the election, I was walking on 9th Avenue, and in like 2 blocks, I had 9 just walk into 2 blocks. And I was like, oh my God, I know everybody. Like, you even start to know the homeless people. Like, you know them.
Yeah.
Like, there's one guy, Tony, he's always on 25th and 9th. You know, he was mad at me because I was on the corner, but then I made friends with him. Like, you begin to know everybody. So, yeah. But you know what? We're here. You know, Margaret Mead always said, never underestimate a group of small, concerned citizens, which is what we are.
Mr. Johnson,
Yeah.
we have a Democratic candidate up the street
Yeah.
named
Jacqueline Laura.
Jackie Laura. How come she isn't down here fighting for the same issues?
Oh, I think she's really conflicted. Like, I think she's really controlled. She's running a one-issue-based campaign. That's not good. Because there's a lot of issues in this district. This is basically the entertainment district.
She's running.
And it's also the most gentrified.
Most gentrified
It's
district.
the most gentrified district.
The big data district, because Google is here,
14th Street.
right, and Apple is here, and everyone seems to be ignoring it.
And don't you think, since we are the most progressive group, don't you think Jackie Laura should be aligned with us?
She's working with what's her name? What's her name? Layla. She's working with Layla. Layla fundraised for her.
Yeah, but
Layla fundraised for her. Layla actually fundraised for her.
I agree. But shouldn't she be working with us, because we're the more progressive group of fighting for the issues that she says she wants to fight for?
Yeah.
Why isn't she down here standing up for
Yeah.
us?
Layla helped her.
She's not standing up for us.
fundraising.
So that tells me, if she hypothetically she wins, who is she going to have her allegiance to? She's not going to have her allegiance to us.
No.
She's going to have her allegiance to the people in Penn South
Yeah.
and to the developers. She say one thing, but she's going to do something else.
Yeah.
My mother used to say, if you can't buy them, you could rent them.
Yeah.
And I didn't come through the back door, and I don't eat green bananas. And so, Jackie Laura is a nice person, but I don't trust her. I voted for her out of protest, but who is she accountable? Who is she going to be accountable to? She's not going to be accountable to ordinary people. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Who can you trust?
So yeah,
I don't know how these people in NYCHA they can do for her, because she's gonna sell them, and we sold already from her from the beginning 2019 and her friend Mary, and this is how it went all off, but we're still standing together. And
You go. Start
And also
again.
the issue of saving Section 9.
Start again. Say before again. Say before again. Say my phone got like cut over. You say it again. Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah. So we go.
No, well, one of the big issues, which is sometimes the groups that are fighting against the demolition, like we're the group that's fighting against the demolition, but also privatization. And Alexa here lives in Section 9, and she is desperate to save Section 9 because it's the only deeply affordable housing in New York City. So if she doesn't have Section 9, and if Fulton or Elliott Chelsea is not Section 9, she's going to be out. So this is like hugely important, and a lot of the groups refuse to like really commit to saving Section 9. And so it makes it kind of suspect, because when I hear like, oh, what about resident management organizations or community land trusts, or like those are like
Those are
that's
way
like taking a gun to her head.
I'm not trying to be mean.
And you know,
I wanna
I'm trying
get
to
back-
explain this to people.
I want to get back to the city council candidate,
It's like
Jackie Laura.
Yeah.
Jackie
Yeah.
Laura.
I don't feel safe with the tenant association.
Jackie Laura lives here, and right up here, right? But she's not talking about Section 9 or Section 8.
Nobody
not
talks
even
about it.
saying
She's not saying anything.
Nobody talks about
It's,
Section 9.
it's this group here that
Even
says the
Lila.
most. And the people in Penn South is not even bringing it up. But mind you, the people in Penn South, they got people living on welfare there. They have people receiving Section 8. Same thing like here. But she's going to speak for them. And you never know. There might be a deal cut to get an apartment there.
Yeah.
People don't do nothing for nothing.
Yeah.
There's deals cut every day.
Also, kind of what's going on too is that some of the media about what's what's happening in NYCHA, like the tenants are kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
Like it's the white Chelsea activists that are giving prominence in the articles, when the tenants are like just like a one sentence.
Like Layla Briscoe.
So it's
and-
almost like they called the Post to pitch the story, but then the tenants who are they're the ones that the story's
And they're
about,
fighting for the
are not even
NIMBY.
given like prominence in the
community, not for
article.
NYCHA.
Like
And-
Lewis,
Yeah.
Lewis forced Layla to talk about, and Lewis, you could address this. Lewis forced Layla to talk about Section 9. She never admitted. Lewis, can you please address
Yes, I mean, the week leading up to the Tony Simone town hall, I had to shame Layla about, why doesn't she talk about Save Section 9? And I made a little infographic and I put it on social media. And at the Tony Simone town hall, she put up a video and she said, finally, something about saving Section 9. And I think it took,
It took months.
It took a long time for us to, pressure her, including humiliating her, in order for her to save Section 9. And I don't know why it has to be so hard. Why?
So, like, trying to think. What do you think about CCOP? Do you think that should be eradicated? This council.
They're not helping us. They're not helping us.
I think there's a few, like all of them are corrupt. All of them are compromised, and they use them to get what they want and say like they wanted it, so you guys get it. It's like this thing with community land trust. You heard of that community land trust where they steal property from landowners and they give to these corrupt nonprofits.
So they pacified them and they gave them what they wanted, so they bought them.
Yeah, but there's only a select few that decides for everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like CCOP
It's
and
not democratic. As far as we know, it's not democratic. These are appointed positions, I believe. Also, why aren't they here? This is a first of its kind issue that's happening, where they're going to demolish over 2,000 apartments. CCOP should be here and having a say and organizing people and really ask, is this what the future of NYCHA should be? Complete and entire demolition. And the problem with demolition, we've always said from the very beginning, is it opens the door to rescreening.
Yes.
That the Rat Pack landlord can choose and pick who they want to move back in. And we believe that's already a problem, because in the certified letters that NYCHA sent to the tenants who live at Fulton and Chelsea Elliott, the certified letters said that NYCHA has to decide whether tenants qualify for certain of the assistance. It shouldn't be that NYCHA has to determine whether people qualify for assistance. It should be a guarantee.
Lewis, I want to go back to Lewis again. Lewis had wrote, we had informed the tenants, and Lewis had put a letter together telling them what Eric Boucher and Donald Trump was doing to them. No city council candidate in this district did not inform, and that goes for Jackie. And we posted it in all of the buildings from top to bottom. And it was correct. But Jackie was running the city council. She didn't say a word about it.
so what do you think about this other guy, Theo Chino, that is trying to say that you guys should own your apartments, like it should be private. What do you think about that? And then use another guy named DJ07 to do his dirty work.
I disagree with him because some people are not going to have the income to own their apartments. They're not.
Yeah.
And that's another way of evicting them. And seniors also. Who they think they're bamboozling? That's another form of privatization.
Yeah, because he pushes for eminent domain. He lives in lives in Riverside, which is one of the most wealthiest areas in the city.
Yeah.
But he pushes for eminent domain for his property because it doesn't go his way. But that really leads to dangerous waters because it hurts people in the long run.
Right, it hurts a lot of people. What we should be trying to do is keep people in their homes and not looking to evict them or demolish their buildings. These buildings are sound. They do need repair. They do need, a boiler, elevator, maybe new windows. Definitely plumbing and electrical work needs to be updated. But they're not so bad that they need to be demolished. They're not structurally unsound. Instead, they are structurally sound and they can stay up. They just need the repairs. And our focus should be to keep people in their homes, because we are in a housing crisis. That's also a factor here that should be a compelling reason not to do demolition. We're in a housing crisis. We should not be demolishing people's homes.
And if you go to the senior citizen building in Chelsea, how are they going to be able to afford it? How are the seniors and the elderly going to be able to afford it?
Where do we go?
Where do they go? They're going to put them in the street. And that's a form of discrimination against the elderly, the disabled, against black people, against Latino people, against Asian people. It's a form of discrimination. Economic discrimination.
So when you think about like community land trusts, they trying to push that to you guys too.
I know that's a project that the DSA is moving right now because we believe that because they are Democrats, they're going to support random PACs. And I don't know why it is that even the DSA supports community land trusts, because that's also another way to pull the rug out from under NYCHA.
That's what Renee wants, community land trust.
Right. It's another way.
Who's Renee?
Renee is the TA
Tenant
president
Association.
at
Chelsea.
at Elliott Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
She's the new TA president. Before it used to be Darlene Waters, now it's Renee Keats.
She wants to run the show those ways. She doesn't want Section 9. She said she does, but she doesn't want it.
Section 9 allows you to keep your apartment just in
Yes.
case somebody that had before passes away, or you know what I mean. But Section 8, if the person that has it passes away, y'all out. You're butted out.
Yeah.
You're out. It's a way to break up families. It's a way to also lead to displacement.
Can I give you something else on Section 9? That Section 9 helps. If you were making $50,000 a year and you lost your job, they have to bring your income down when you can afford to pay.
Yeah,
And so under Section 8, they're not going to do that.
can't do
Be
that.
evicted.
So it's very eviction in a nutshell. So basically, you have elected officials that act like they fight for tenants with tenant protection, but they don't.
They don't.
And they completely pass the city a yes of guaranteeing that they're gonna fight for more tenant protections, but they didn't. And nitrogen, they didn't at all.
I want to add on that
Yeah.
as Jackie, she doesn't explain to her people on 19th Street. And same as Renee, she's lying to them the same thing for the seniors or everybody. And it's really unfair what they're doing. And same thing, Renee is selected, but she was not elected.
Yeah.
Because Lila was all over there, checking and telling the people what to do and how.
Yeah, because she's a district leader.
Yeah, she's another one. And then I want to mention 2019, 16th Street where Jackie lives, right? She lives 16th Street. And 19th Street, that building, they were for demolition. But we saved those buildings. And you know how after that they go around and they change their status. So Jackie, so why this time it's only 19th Street, not 16th Street? So what happened, like in 4 or 5 years, that building got better? I don't think so. It's just now because she's there. I mean, look how they're lying. Maybe 19th Street is good too, same with the seniors.
Yeah, no, when it
But
comes to
they
nicer
just-
developments, it's
yeah.
like whoever kisses their ass.
Yeah.
Let me go down here, it's raining and stuff. Let's go
And
down.
why
Let's go.
Jackie's not helping you?
Yeah, she's controlled by them, like Roskoff, Glisco, Jenkins, and just not trying to block the door. But yeah, but to say it's like whoever, like I said, whoever kisses ass,
Yeah,
they get what they want.
Yeah.
These tenant persons get what they want.
Yeah.
So I say y'all should be calling for the eradication of CCOP. That's my opinion. Because CCOP is just like they just use them to say like this is what the tenants want and that's it. They make decisions. They cater them. They sharpen them around.
Isn't Reggie Bowman part of CCOP?
Yeah, I never liked the guy. He only did it. I think he was trying to run for city. He was only out and he was trying to form a city council. He had no chance winning that race. No chance.
Lock the door.
Yeah. Out the door. Yeah.
They don't care.
So they really don't care. And the same thing as they selected Jackie. She's going against the people. And same Renee. So where are we going?
They're
they-
doing repairs, and it's not coming from NYCHA. It's coming from HOU,
HO housing.
from Essence HOU.
What's that? What's that mean?
That's Essence related that they have HOU.
It's a company that is the buffer between NYCHA and Essence related. There's already a company that they have to work with to report all their repairs because now they're not facing NYCHA anymore.
And they're undermining the tenants, telling them that they're not going to have no renovation no demolition when they're being renovated with HOU. It's supposed to be HUD, which is from the government, not from HOU.
So that's a way of private, that's a sense of privatization. They're slowly trying to move them in.
Yeah.
And they have a bridge a letter. I have a copy of it. They're trying to make the tenants sign it so we could switch over to them.
What's the yellow letter on you?
Yeah, I have
Can
a
you show me,
copy.
please?
I think Marte should have ran for mayor.
But he had no chance. I think he better off running when he's term limited because he's not popular in Manhattan.
No.
This is Yimby Manhattan.
Yeah.
Other than like his neighborhood, like when it comes to like those old like Chinese folks and the people that's paying less than market rate, he's not popular. He has a tough primary. He has 2 people running against him. He was at today at Gotham Park with this chick named Liza Lewishon. She's back. She's self-funded home campaign. She did what Goldman did. This is district Dan Goldman. No, not this is not Goldman district. I think this is the Goldman district, right?
This is Jerry's district.
Jerry did. So I think a little bit down is Goldman. What she did what Jerry Goldman did was self-funding her campaign, but he's running against a Yimby candidate that's named Jess Coleman. He's a member of Brooklyn Manhattan Ward 1. He's a lawyer. He's backed by Abundance New York. He's backed by a lot of these Yimby nonprofits and organizations. So he has a tough primary.
If he wins,
he's term at who? If Marte wins, it'll be his last term as a member.
He can go for broke.
Huh?
He can go for broke.
Yeah. He can go for mayor, anything you want to go for. You see? Hold on, what the hell? Sorry about that. Wait, let me wait this. Live.
Why do you think Barron didn't win re-election?
Oh, Barron shot himself out of the foot because he got in because he ran against
These are the new rules now.
He ran against
HOU.
Wait, hold on.
From the Tenant Association in A.
But he fought more for the tenants.
Hold on. Yeah, he did, but he had a tough thing because there was an opposition to him that was hungry to take him out. It was Nikki Lucas and
somebody wanted Nikki Lucas.
Yeah, before she ran and Chris Banks. So they was gunning for that seat for years. Chris was gunning for that seat for a year. He was gunning for 60 years.
20 years.
Yeah, and he won because he worked with the right people.
Barron would have been with Marte.
And voted no.
And voted no.
But Chris voted no too.
Okay. But Barron is more, you can depend on Barron.
Yeah.
More. Whatever he says he's going to do.
Yeah.
And he was more tenant friendly.
Yeah.
The political machine, when he ran for Congress, you know how he lost that race. He lost that race basically because the Jews came in, because he was beaten, Hakeem Jeffries in that race. And the Jews came in and they saved him. That's the only reason he lost that race. He was leading that race. I worked in that campaign. Mm-hmm. And we were leading, and then as they saw him looking like he was going to win, Jerry Knappler and all these people came.
And NYCHA workers are being transferred. They're being transferred
better than them. Who is somebody better than them?
Well,
They
they
knock
should
the
speak on
person
that.
down. That's it.
Renee should be speaking on that.
No, she already knew it. They decided to left. Because somebody called me and I called her. And she was supposed to take care of it, but from what I heard, the guy had to leave anyway.
Renee probably doesn't have no backbone.
They got her in. Yeah. Layla and Jacqueline got her in.
Renee don't have no backbone.
So.
Layla and that other woman, Leona, whatever, they're not here to help us. They're here to go for the NIMBY, not in my backyard. For the community, not for us. They're not looking out for us. They're using us so they can get what they want, the NIMBY.
The fight that we fought for like the last, 7 years, Louis?
Over 7 years now.
I think I'm a little sick, but if that fight didn't happen, Alexa, Louis, and Marty, and myself, I think they would have tore those buildings down on 19th Street.
Yeah.
I think we raised so much hell, they didn't know what to do. They said we're going to.
There's rumors that they're going to tear it down in November.
I don't think so.
I heard it from David Holoski.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that online, but I don't. You know why I don't think so? Because it's an election year.
Yeah.
We'll see. We have a lawsuit, so we'll see. But thank you so much for coming today.
Okay, so that's it?
Thank you.
That's it for everybody?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Thank you, guys. Take care, all right? Thank you. I will. So that's it? Y'all done?
Yes,
All right, cool.
Stay close
Yeah,
to us.
yeah,
I
she
will, I
does
will.
Fight.
With somebody.
Yeah.
She never does.
Take care, guys.
I wish you
Later.
happy birthday on your birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me go. Let me get out of here. Head up. This is NYCHA in a nutshell. So you saw there, that's the multi-billion-dollar apartment complex that Alan lives in, and this is NYCHA. So y'all saw it first, y'all heard it first, and yeah, this is what they want. So time now is currently 2:14. So this is the NYCHA development here. Fulton House is right here. No, it's I think over here at Hudson Guild, it's like that. So there's Fulton houses right here. So this is it here, guys. So that's it. Take care. Later.